All right, so the next information item is the Arrowhead Woods Architectural Community Meeting Report. I'm going to be recusing myself because I am the attorney for Arrowhead Woods Architectural Committee. And I'll be leaving the meeting and turning it over to Vice President Steve Boydston. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me vacate. Okay, please, John. I'm a little bit slow here on this, so very good. Thank you. Have a good month. We'll see you again.
Okay, number 6, Arrowhead Woods Architectural Committee Community Meeting Report. Catherine.
So May 2nd, we had we didn't have it. AWAC held a community meeting to discuss potential of LACSD taking over their, assuming their duties. It was well attended, a lot of engagement. The topic was agendized as to discuss this topic, but there was just a lot of time spent on just AWAC specific concerns and organizational and operational issues. So but it was good to listen, to hear what concerns might be out in the future. We just weren't able to get in front of the concerns because people thought they were having to make a decision right away because there was this information out there. There was going to be a vote in June. And so it's just incorrect because AWAC needs quite a bit of time to get voting procedure down, and could take, they're saying maybe 6 months, but probably more like a year. So we needed to hold the meeting because of this concern in the community that they had to make this decision and they didn't have any information. And it's true, they really didn't have any information. So we're now going to start preparing more information for the public and for the board to look at. We need to prepare plans, some kind of pro forma, so people can see what the fees might look like. It's a little awkward because how does a governing body adopt fees for an organization they're not responsible for? So Joe is going to help us with some kind of proposal that we can at least put forward to the community down the road. So it's going to take a few months. I've asked AWAC for some information to help prepare, so that we could look at what a fee structure might be and what the costs might be. They were also wondering why our board wasn't there, and obviously our board cannot convene unless it's noticed board meeting with all of the Brown Act laws and everything required. Something we might want to think about: do we want to create an ad hoc committee with only 2 board members that would be more engaged on the issue, that would attend meetings? Something for us to consider. It's a little tricky because not one board member represents the entire board. I always walk this line. I always remind people I don't speak for the board. I can only speak to what I've heard the board convey in open session. So that's, so it's a little tricky, but it's something for us to consider if we want some of our board to be a little more involved. So the next steps, ALA is going to continue holding meetings, but they're going to find their own venue. And AWAC. Did I say ALA? Sorry. The alphabet soup of Lake Arrowhead.
Central here.
And then, this vote is a huge hurdle. It is a majority of property owners, which is not a majority of who votes. It's a majority of the property owners. So it's a very big lift. So, if that happens, then we'll come before our board, who will consider it, public hearing, mail to every property owner. If our board approves it, it goes to LAFCO for their approval. And then if they approve it, it comes back to our board, who then would put forward any ordinance or fee structure, public hearing again. So we're a long way away from this, but we definitely need to be prepared with more information so the public feels like they can make an informed decision.
Sure.
So yeah, that was the meeting, and I'll keep you updated if anything changes.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What prompted the action?
The action for people thinking there was a vote.
No, the combination of the action being proposed to be taken by LACSD.
So AWAC was, they're struggling with the lack of resources and knew that their executive director was retiring soon. And knew that in 2025, some of the CCRs were expiring, and it was going to be a lot of effort to try to renew them. And didn't think that they would really have the resources to be able to accomplish that. So the executive director, who has since retired, Stacy Lippert, came and asked if we would help. And our board discussed it and, thought the CCRs were worth it and said, Catherine, go see what it takes. And I said, well, it's going to be really hard because it's going to take legislation. We don't have the power. But our senator was able to picked it up for us. So we're very honored that she did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or concerns from the board? Is there any public comment?
For those who wish to make public comment, please use the raise hand feature and you'll be called on in the order of the raised hand.
No public comment? Okay.
I'm sorry. Vice President Byston.
Okay. All right. One of those days. At least it's not Monday. Does anybody want to go to another board member meeting?
No,
Meetings?
although I think we could elect a one-person ad hoc committee for AWAC. Steve Keefe would be
Person to the idea.
Keefe would be perfect.
I can put it on the agenda for next month.
Let's see. Yeah. Would it be one person or two people?
Our ad hoc committees are usually two. I think you could have one. No, you just can't have more than two. What do you think, Joe? Can you have one person?
You could have one. I mean, folks technically think of a committee as more than one, but if you wanted to have one representative, the purpose is just it's for a limited period of time and they participate and then report back to the board. And then at the appropriate time, the ad hoc is dissolved.
I would really like to see a committee of community members too. And maybe our ad hoc might participate in that, but it seems to me that a good community committee could really research this and come with a good recommendation to the public and to our board. So that's what I would like to see, but I think AWAC
That can certainly happen too. Yeah, our committee could meet on its own as well as decide to meet with whatever community group that's put together.
Okay. Well, we jumped forward and jumped back there.
sorry.
It's okay. John's gone, correct?
Yeah.
So any board members have any comments? No? Okay.
I'll move that we adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thanks. That's it.